Okay, welcome back. So just to be perfectly clear, remember that in the previous recording, this is what we did. We typed this into the CSS file that I asked you to create. So the selector is the body, then you have the opening curly brace. The property is the background color followed by a colon, and then right after that you have the value, which is the color that you want to use in this case in terms of a hex value. And then that's closed off by a semicolon, and don't forget the closing curly brace, otherwise this won't take effect. So maybe I forgot to show you the code. It's the very same thing here. That's the code. And then if you go to the web page, let me see. This is how it should look because you modified the background color, remember. Okay, so I hope that's clear. Now, let's try to modify another thing. Try to modify the H1. Remember that the H1 is this. This is the H1. Okay, let's try to modify that. Type this in, H1, opening bracket, color, what do you call this, the property, selector, property, uh, colon, value, red, semicolon, and then closing curly brace. Okay, like I said, without this change won't take effect. Okay, let's take a look. So we type this in. This is how I did it, as you can see. Okay, you type in H1 curly brace property value. Okay, Control S. Let's take a look. Control S, and then you refresh this, and this is what you would have. That's the result. The H1 has been modified in terms of color. Okay, now let's continue. Let's try another thing. So modify another property of the H1 of the selector. This is the selector. Modify another property. So color, that's red. Type in a semicolon, and then font size, let's say 200 pixels. Don't forget to close that off, okay, with a semicolon. Okay, this is the second rule. This is the second modification. We are still referring to the very same selector. So what happens? Let's try that. I typed this in, font size, colon, so you have the colon there, and then 200 pixels, semicolon to close it off, and then curly bracket here. Okay, let's take a look at our web page. Let's see, refresh it. There you have a massive H1. I love bacon. I hope that's clear. So that worked, as we can see here. Okay, now just to be clear, again, it's best to do this because it's quite likely that when you construct your own CSS file, and then you have to modify several elements, several selectors, and you have to modify it in different ways. So that means that the properties that you would want to change, okay, would be multiple. So it's best to enumerate them like this. So make a list, If possible, alphabetize them so it's easier for you to find them when you are checking, if you're checking your code, or if you're debugging, so you know, okay? It's easier for you to find what you're looking for, okay? So in terms of the code, like you've seen already on the slide, you just do this. This way it's clearer, you can add, you know, more things here, and it's organized, it's it's easy to read, so that's an advantage really. Okay, you can save that. Now, another challenge, can you change the background color in the bacon image? So just to give you a tip, you need to find the correct selector. You have to, you have to know which property you want to change, and then try to change that to blue. Okay, pause the video and then try this on your own before you continue. Just, you know, try to, you can Google a little bit if you need to. You can go to MDN, you can go to any documentation online. Try it on your own first. Okay, pause the video. How did that turn out for you? Okay, were you able to do the challenge? If not, it's fine. Let's just take a look at how it should be done. So find the correct selector. What did we say you wanted to change? You wanted to change the background color in the bacon image. So if we go back, that's the bacon image right there. You want to change the background color of that. Okay. So what is the selector? It's an image. So you need the image tag. Now determine the property you want to change. We already know because we said it a couple of times already. It's the what is the background color. That's the property that you want to modify. Then the value has been prescribed to you, which is blue. So that's how you want to change the property background color. Okay, so try to type that in, and what do you get? This is what you get. Image, curly brace, opening curly brace, background color, colon, value, blue, closing semicolon, okay, and then closing curly brace. That's what you need. Save that, okay. Okay, let's see if it works. I'll refresh it. There you are. So it has worked. How do we know? Because we see that the background color of the bacon picture has changed to blue. And of course, you can use a hex value, you can play around, you can use any other color that you might find more interesting than blue. So you can change that, but we know that it works. Okay. Now, um, how do you know which watts or properties you can change? You can go to the MDN web homepage. This is one of the resources. Click on the Technologies tab, then click on CSS, then go to CSS reference. Okay, let's see how that looks. So I'm on MDN, this documentation website. Click on CSS. Let's see. Okay, and click on CSS reference. And you have this. Okay, you have this quite exhaustive list of the properties that you can change, in your CSS file, thus affecting your HTML file. Okay, as you saw, as you've just seen, it talks about syntax. So we saw that directory of keywords, Those are all properties that can be changed using CSS rules. And if you click on any of them, you can get more information about any particular property. Yeah. So for instance, background color, and slow background color. We've seen this before. There you have it. More information, examples, and it even gives you how it should look once you've applied it. Okay, I hope that's clear. And that's it for today's class. I'll see you in the next one.